Music. That jump of water drip, 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 drip. That honey fine, she thick, 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 thick.
Hey, how's it going? I'm akaBoG. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm actually really excited because I'm going to share a collection that I've been working on for a while that is one of my favorites. I know I usually collect comic books here, but ever since I was a kid, in the early 90s, I started buying, Magic the Gathering cards, Marvel cards, I had all sorts of sets. I still have a number of them around. Really wish I had my old Magic cards back. But today we're going to look at something that's really cool. We're going to look at the complete Fortnite Panini trading card set. And this is a set that originally began release in 2019. I first saw them in September 20, I believe. And they started releasing these in Walgreens and GameStop, and they were kind of hard to find at first. And I was able to get into a really cool Fortnite community, a trading card group, and they are an excellent resource here. And at the time it was 30. I think there's over 1,400 members in the same group now collecting these awesome cards. And the first set, Series 1, the first 100 cards were a little underwhelming for folks. You can see they got the loading screen, and to here, move my camera over so we get a little less close. But so this first set, the loading screens, like I said, definitely a little underwhelming. But hey, at some point here, I suspect that the folks who are trying to compete that's actually have a time trying to find some of these, because I think a lot of these were probably thrown in the trash. Got our little checklist here for the set, and then we start getting into the more interesting cards for Fortnite. Got all the weapon cards, and got some pickaxes, and then you start seeing some of the skins. And the initial series here had much larger pictures of characters. Backs have a little bit smaller pictures, and it went through and it has some really cool cards. The lower tier stuff is all kind of the more common characters. I believe these are all uncommon, or these are uncommon and then rare tier skins. And you can see some of the pickaxes made it in weird spots. Figure out their numbering and everything. And let's see. Got this Gold Trooper there. It's definitely a popular. Alright, and now we're getting into the epic skins. So the rare ones, we got our Gold Trooper, which is definitely a popular one. And then we've got our first big appearance with the Skull Trooper right there, and of course Peely down on the bottom. Those are bigger cards for the first set. And of course initially they were just epics and fairly common, and of course there's a number of people who have been really grabbing a lot of those, so they were getting harder to find. There's my Black Knight. That was a fresh pack pull. It actually has really pretty clean corners, except the top is dinged right there, so it probably wouldn't grade super great. But that was a tough card to find. I'm glad I pulled one out of a pack. And then we've got Drift, who a lot of people think could be one of the more popular cards for the set. We've got Drift up top, as well as oh gosh, why can't I think of his Dire. And then of course Leviathan, which was one of the first legendary tier skins that was released. And we've got Aimbot, one of the first skins that had a back bling with an elim counter on there. We've got the Ragnarok, Raven, Punk Rock, and of course we've got Lux and Wukong. And down here you start seeing the shards. which if you notice, I don't have a lot of shards in my Series 1 set. I traded a lot of my shards and that I got out of my megas to get my legendary base cards. I did eventually get the promos, the full promo set, plus the number 10 promo card, which was released with the Series 2 cards, which is very odd and bizarre, very weird way of doing it. But I do have the full set, so it's one of each card at least. Yeah, what's up, Daniel? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. And I've got the Hey Man, and this one's back here because this is actually an error card. If you look close, let's see. It's got the ink dot on it. Hard to see. But that's like a known print error card. So that's my Series 1 base set. Now, down at the back of here, I've got an unofficial fan-made metal Mandalorian Fortnite card. I think there were like 10 or 15 of these made before the community basically decided we really shouldn't be having any pirated cards flown around, but I do still have one. I gave one out away on my channel. And then we also have these cool magnets that I got from somebody who was making those. They're not card size as you can see, and that was better. And they don't actually have the foiling, but it's just a cool little magnet set. So that's my Fortnite Series 1 binder. And we're just going to put that aside, and we're going to jump into, I think we're actually going to kind of do this in the release order. So while we were waiting for Series 2 to come out, got what is a set that initially a lot of the people ignored, myself included, which is Reloaded. These were only released internationally, I believe, in Europe, and a lot of the corners you can see on like my aura are banged up on these. The print quality was a little rough, and it was kind of seen as a halfway set because it does reprint some of the cards from Series 1, but it also has some cards that were never reprinted in any other set. So it's actually, I think, pretty cool. I'm glad I picked up a full set here. So the Reloaded cards differ. We got our Black Knight down here, in that they have a black border around the cards. Sub Warfighter, how's it going, man? The hard cases, I should get them graded, honest. So we've got our Reloaded here. It's kind of cool too, because in the Reloaded set you got variants of skins that you weren't seeing too. Like we got the fire variant there, we got some Dark Jonesy. Let's see, any other real standout cards? You know, the Reloaded set, like I said, that's just I wasn't gonna put everything there. So flipping through, you do have a nice Galaxy in the base set, which a lot of people weren't able to get the Galaxy in Series 1 because it was promo only, and those sold out super fast. Got like a little drip. You got another Lux making her appearance. First Lynx card was in Reloaded. We got Inferno. Overall, pretty cool set. You've got Oros. I don't think he's been released in any other set yet. Got Meowscles. We have our Peely, and then we've got our P1000, as well as our Peely Bones, which is pretty cool. So we got several Peelys right there on the same page. Got like the PlayStation exclusive skin. Maybe that's not, but I think that was a PlayStation. On that, someone will correct me if I'm wrong. One of the highlights of the Reloaded set is the Renegade Raider. Considered one of the more popular skins, one of the rarest in the game, and I believe, short of having a prototype card, that's really the only way to get the Renegade Raider card. So this set, they did, like I said, they had some characters we didn't see anywhere else. You have variants like this one. You got the Gold Ice King, which is cool. That wasn't released in any other versions. You get a regular Ice King. See? Got your Scientist from the 7, like a gold Ultima Knight. So I kind of like that we got some variations, like DJ Yonder down here. And then these are interesting. They're event cards, which I actually kind of like. They're kind of along the same lines of the screenshot cards, where it's just a random screenshot, but these actually recall moments from past Fortnite events. It's pretty cool because as a player, those are some of the memories that really stick out as those kind of big events like the black hole, you know. Next up, you have a number of cards in this set too that are called set cards, and I actually put these in the display binder backwards because the front is just kind of like a ghosted image of the character, and some of these we already saw. But on the back it has their set with their pickaxe, their glider, and a back bling, which is kind of cool. A little different. We didn't see that with any of the other Fortnite sets, and so that kind of makes it a little unique. You got like the Black Knight set, which is awesome, and like Scratch, you know. And then after that you get into these ones, and these are some of my favorite cards in the set. These are glow in the dark, and they actually have a little texturing on the card itself when you are handling them, where the glow in the dark ink is placed. But these are super fun, and when you hit the lights, they do look very cool. And that's something that, honestly, it's a little gimmicky, but I really like it. I thought it was a cool gimmick for the set. You know, we've got our glow-in-the-dark Ghoul Trooper, and some popular cards in there. And then you can see I definitely grabbed some extra Skull Troopers and Trooper cards, or Skull Trooper cards somewhere. Then in the set here, we get into the foil ones. These are really cool. These are all loading screens, but we've got like foiled out chrome versions of them, and they look awesome. The foiling on them is really nice, and some really iconic loading screens. My favorite's probably this guy here. And then we also have motion cards, which are hard to translate on the camera, but when you move them back and forth, they show different characters' outfits, like Drift there, becoming full version of Drift. You've got like sprays. You even have dance as emote cards, which is pretty cool. And for a long time, this is the only way I was able to get the sneak out emote until they brought it back. Now, in the very back of this folder, I put something unique, and we're kind of jumping ahead because these are the most recent cards I've added to my set. And these are probably lesser known, and I'm sure that a lot of people won't be collecting these. But that's why I put them in my reloaded binder, because it's a little different. And these are the Peru Batman art cards. And within this 200 Batman art card set, they included the comic book covers from a number of the recent comics. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if some of these guys. It's hard to see with all the crystalling. But these actually are covers with Fortnite characters and Batman from the series, and they also have that ice shard effect. Long term, I think these will be kind of hard ones for folks to actually find and track down, because you've got to get them from Peru. The cards were only released in Peru, and so I know people have been importing them. Now let's get back to the main Panini stuff here. It was a PlayStation. All right, thanks, Warfighter, for the confirmation there. Let's take a look. Series 2. And so Series 2, there was definitely a long delay. And one of the highlights of that card is right there, number 2, the Aura. It's definitely a sweat skin if you play the game. And they basically, Series 2 was a continuation of Series 1. They did a lot of the same things, brought in some more skins, a little bit more variety. They dumped the whole kind of idea of loading screen cards in favor of just bring skins, which I liked. I don't think we needed the loading screens. And you can see they brought in a big variety, including like Aeronaut. That's a pretty rare skin. I don't think it's been in the shop in forever. But you've got like Paradigm, which of course we now know is portrayed by Brie Larson in game. Got the Burial Threat, which we got an interesting example of that one a little later on. You know, and so really nice mix. I like the bigger profile cards that we got in Series 1 and Series 2. I think it was Series 3 they kind of put the smaller images front and back, and I'm not as big a fan of that. But pretty good character selection overall. Nice variety. I know that some of these skins are people's favorites, and there's a lot of debate on what the really big cards or hit cards from this series are. Hard to go wrong with a Skull Trooper or a Peely variant, you know, with Peely bones there. Now, yeah, Chaos Agent's interesting because it is one of the only cards in the main set that we get a couple versions of. We'll see that in a little bit here. Following up with the Fox clan, we've got Catalyst in this set, and there's Lynx is always super popular. The Glimmer skin, and then one of the the two kind of hits originally for this set people were chasing real hard were, of course, the Ice King and the Ultima Knight, which are pretty cool cards and definitely worth tracking down. The Ice Queen was also sought after. And one that flew under the radar a little bit is the Singularity. Don Muster has said that is a character that is expected to play a bigger role. Singularity here, excuse me. And yeah, we've got like the Prisoner and some classic ones. And then for this set, we did get pickaxes. Interesting because the pickaxes now are two-sided, and which is tough because now we only get to see half of them when I'm flipping through here. I've been tempted to put together a second set so I can show both sides, but I'm not quite that OCD. I'm not that bad. But it would be nice. I would have preferred having twice as many cards for these and only had one-sided, because you have to kind of pick and choose which ones. Then we got locations, which is an interesting one because most of these locations are no longer in game, or I probably wouldn't even remember most of these. They change them so much. I get a lot of the names. And then for Series 2, we did eventually get a Series 2 promo set, and this one was unusual in that it came with 11 cards, 10 for Series 2 and 1 for Series 1, which was really weird. And when it dropped, it threw a lot of people for a loop. And then in the back for Series 2, the one I have here is my Burial Threat Hollow, and that is another error card. There's a stain on his shirt right here, and there are definitely ones with it and definitely ones without it, and so I definitely have that kind of in the binder to highlight. Let's see, am I on tonight? I do not know when I'm on. I actually recorded with Taking High Ground just last night, and we recorded like 2 hours, and so it was an awesome conversation, and it was all talking comic books, and we got into some weird stuff with the comics. And so 100%, if you guys are liking this set, make sure you check out Taking High Ground on YouTube. They've got me coming on as a guest speaker. It sounds like maybe tonight or something. It was a good interview. So check it out if you want to learn more about Fortnite comics. So we're going to get into Series 3, and it starts off same kind of thing. We've got all our pickaxes, and I can't remember. I believe these may have been two-sided as well. You know, just kind of, again, filler cards, something to have in the packs that you could print a lot of that weren't really the chases, you know. Some of these were short printed and actually a little trickier to find, and without the Fortnite trading card group, and I don't know if I would have had luck getting all of these. Now, for an interesting inclusion this time around, and these are two-sided again, are wraps. And that's cool, actually. I like that because as a player, we do collect a lot of wraps. I personally, instead of doing two-sided, I would have done the wrap on a weapon, and I would have, instead of doing the rifle and all of them, I would have randomized it a bit more so we could have seen more weapons. That way you would have almost had weapon cards in the set. And I would have shown on the other side a vehicle. So you would have had like a weapons wrap view and a vehicle view, which would have been cool too. But hey, you know, they're figuring this out as they go. We get into our character cards, and like I said, these ones, they have the full characters instead of the close-up headshot view, which I like better. But we got a really good mix for Series 3. Some of the folks' most popular skins, you know, made appearances. A lot of rare skins that don't show up in game too often. As well as skins that people do play a lot. You know, we've got like Goldie. That was one that took me a while to figure out when I was doing my first appearance comic book list, which that video is coming out soon. And you can see, you know, it's a pretty nice mix. Agent Peely was definitely one folks were looking for. Let's see here. We've got like Bun, Drift, or not Drift, Burnout. And then we get like our wild card, like a cool gold version of that guy. And I like the Lucky Clover like version of Burnout and Drift, or not saying Drift. It's can't remember what the Rogue Agent, almost, yeah. And for Series 3, one of the other ones that they added in eventually here is they also added a series of Frozen cards. And I think we're about to get into those because we're getting into the Epics and Legendaries. Right. We got on Peely. So you gotta have a Peely in each one of these sets, you know, right? And then one of the odd decisions, I don't know, I'm not really the biggest fan of this decision to include all of the superhero skins. That would have been fine with one of each or one other, but that almost seemed like a little bit of filler for the legendary cards in this set. I would have enjoyed a better variety instead of 8 of those guys, you know. But big card in this set is Midas, of course, probably one of the most popular, if not the most popular Fortnite characters. And then here's those Frozen sets. You've got like Frozen Fish Stick, Frozen Drift, the Frozen Knight. So that is the Knight card for this set. And then we've got our Gold Chaos Agent for the promo set. And what was really interesting too with the Series 3, so you've got your full promo set, was in Europe. I got mine through a buddy in Germany. Shout out to Marcus. I think is still helping people get a few of these sets. He might have a couple left. But they did a laser promo. It is pretty clean. And long term, I don't think that we're going to see too many of those because, I don't know, we'll see. But I really like the Series 3 lasers. So that's it. That's my core base complete Panini set. I do have a free Fortnite V-Buck code I'm going to give out in just a minute here. But before I did that, I wanted to show off a couple other highlights from the collection. So recently, I did a Fortnite fix from Westrum Gaming. This was a cool little promo he had done through his channel where you could get some randomized graded cards. And I had done an opening, but I flubbed the recording, so I never showed it. So I'm going to kind of recreate that here and show these guys for the first time on camera. And he did this really cool. I love the boxes that he made with the stickers and the numbering. I thought it was really cool. And right here, let's see what my first one is. The PSA Mint Mint 9 Giddy Up Holofoil from I believe were those Series 2, I think. Let me check. No, that's a Series 1. That's super awesome. So that's a Series 1 holo. That's a graded 9. So I'm really happy with that card. That's definitely a long hold. And so I don't have too many graded cards in my collection. So it's actually really cool to be able to get any of them and add them in. Put that aside. First one here. And this one was also pretty awesome, if I remember correctly. Let's see what our second Fortnite fix is. And this was from Westrum Gaming on YouTube. Awesome guy. And this is a Cracked Ice, I believe, Series 2. The Series 2? It is Series 2, yeah. Cracked Ice Series 2 Mint 9, man. PSA, I love it. So I've got a nice graded Cracked Ice from Series 2, Series 1 graded holo. I'd say that those were both wins. He did have a awesome, I believe it was a Black Knight or a Black Knight holo in there as the main chase. And I would have been nice to get that, but I'll take what I get. But then I also kind of want to show off, let's see, let's show off my Peelies here. So I've got I call this the On Peely Rainbow. And for Fortnite trading cards, for those who don't know, a rainbow is going to be a complete set of all the variants of that card. So in this case, for On Peely, who is a Series 3 card, I've got the base, the holo, the crystal shard, or I guess ice shard, or lemonade. I'm not best at the vernacular. I got the laser, and then the optichrome. So that's all 5 versions of the card that was, hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, Collector Moose. And how's it going, Black Ash? Been a while, man. So we've got the On Peely Rainbow, which I think is pretty cool because Peely's all super popular. And then from there, I added the Agent Peely Rainbow. So we got the Hollow, Laser, the Ice, the Opti, and then this guy, I actually got the Gem Mint base card for a really good deal. So that's kind of a cool rainbow. Got all of my Agent Peelys out. Going with my Peely Rainbow, I have this beautiful Kokoro Japanese comic card, rated a 9.5. I actually won this for free from the gentleman at Taking High Grounds, who I did an interview with recently in the chat. And I really like these guys. These are so cool. And I just didn't have the resources to go chasing these down. And so to be able to win one is super cool. And I've got that with my PSA Gem Mint base in Peely. So those are kind of like my my Peely cards that I've added into this set. But I also have a Fox Clan Hollow Rainbow. So I have one of each Hollow for Drift Series 1, Catalyst Series 2, and from Series 3 we've got V and Frozen Drift. So that's kind of my I call it my Fox Clan Hollow set. And because I don't even know necessarily, I pulled a couple of these in packs, and then I read somewhere that this might have been a short printed card, so I just completed the rainbow. But I've got a complete Cracks Shot Series 3 rainbow as well. And that does it. That's my main one. That's going to highlight kind of my main Fortnite core collection at the moment. I've got a lot of loose cards. I'm actually going through and making sure to sleeve all my Series 1 base cards because I'll keep those for trade long term. Let me switch back to my here. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys, everybody, and chatting and watching this awesome collection with me. Now for the big reveal, let's go and give out some V-Bucks, guys. Here's a code. You want to go to epicgames.com/Fortnite/EN-US/V-Bucks card and enter in code A46P-Y6H. Oh gosh, that's bad to find. It's HX for those who couldn't tell. EZLP E4DJ, and that's good for 1,000 V-Bucks. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in, and yeah, I'll catch you soon. I've actually got a bunch of content coming up. We'll see you later.
Like a blackbird, yeah, I'm taking off. Like a mid-25, I'm taking off. Like Bugattis, Maseratis, taking off. Nigga, I'm taking off. I'm taking off. Like a blackbird, yeah, I'm taking off.